landing page can be created on Canva. Everything that I'm telling y'all to create, this is free stuff. This is not, I'm telling y'all, there are multiple places that you can create a free website. There are multiple places that you can create a free landing page. It is the moment that you decide to add product that you have to pay. Imagine paying somebody $10 to $40 for your brick and mortar online versus 1,000, 2,000, or 3,000 for a business in person. I have both. I do both. But before I got my building, my thought process was until I have a place that my customers can come in and actually experience Christian on Michon, they have to have a designated area to find us. I don't need. Let me tell y'all the most irritating thing. Y'all customers ain't gonna say it, but I say it for them. Hey, can you type in what's your social media? And you sit there and you do this and you go through that whole spiel. Nobody got time for that. People have very, very, very small attention spans. Okay. And that's what I recognize. And so what I started to do is just stop thinking about myself and how tired I am or lazy I feel, as far as updating my website or just putting the damn website together, and started thinking about what is going to be an easier way for people to buy into my experience. What is going to be an easier way for people to buy into the brand? What is going to be an easier way for people to stay in touch with the brand, whether I'm on social media or not? What if I don't have a social media post? So these are things that I want you to just think about and process. And I just am one of those people where it just is what it is, y'all. If you want the gold, baby, you got to know the girls is getting the gold, honey. The girls is getting the gold. Now, it can work in other ways, but for those who don't want a website, this is why I say do a landing page. You know what a landing page is? A one pager. So you are telling me that your ass cannot sit down, take one prom picture or one bridal picture, sign up for so and so, so and so. Picture, call to action, box for them to sign up. Some people's websites are just that simple. You don't gotta have bells and whistles and bristles and all of that. It is literally about if you feel that it is important enough for people to know you outside of social media. And for some of y'all, it is not, because you literally question if you should pay $14 a month, but you can spend $14 a day on bullshit. Stop playing with me. Yep, I'm in my bag and I'm on y'all neck. Why? Because I want y'all to see it different. Why? Because you can't say, I want to be this designer, or I want to be this brand, and you don't have the setup that these people have. Don't let people fool you. You see big social media pages, but there are websites to follow, unless they are not located here in America. Okay? And at that point, that ain't none of my business. But a lot of the bigger brands that we love, brands that we aspire to be like, they have social media. I mean, they have a website page or some type of landing page or some type of home spot that is not a physical location where their customers can just go to literally learn more and stay up to date. So if your literal brand awareness is dependent upon, like, your customers' brand awareness is dependent upon you posting, stop playing with me. Yeah, I don't care. Y'all know I don't. Stop playing with me. So you just got to decide what you want to do in 2024. Of course, this is the Ashante way of teaching. This is not everyone's way, right? Because it absolutely works. I've seen it work for other people. I know people who are literally like social media branded and they're doing great. They are eating well and they don't have any issues. So that other side absolutely exists. But I can guarantee you there's some other footwork that you may be or may not be seeing that they are doing that you may not be doing, which can set them apart and put them in a space to be able to eat. Do they have better photos? Just better clients overall? How much branding have they actually put into their social media? Because at the end of the day, you can use your social media like a website. Y'all know people book us off our social media, so don't get it twisted when I say your social media ain't important. But what I'm saying is that both my website and my social media are equally important. There is no one without the other. I be in shambles if one goes down and the other one's up. Yes, this is a real thing. Okay. So I want you guys to really, really, really think about that when you say, why do I need to do all this stuff? Because you aspire to be a bigger brand, and if you want people to be aware of you and not wait on you to post, you need to create a website. You need to create another space for them to hang out that just doesn't rely on you. So I like to treat my website like a portfolio because I haven't done ready to wear. So literally the sales that I really get on my website, they mainly come from all of my old ready to wear. That's it. But guess what it is now? It is a direct portfolio of some of the work that we have done recently, even with the switches that we had, because I couldn't just say, well, I'm not doing ready to wear no more. So I'm gonna take the website down because we're not doing clothes. I still have an audience to serve. I still have people who want to see what we're doing. I still have people who want us to design for them. And if you process your brand the same way, you'll literally consider it and see it the same way that I see it. And it'll be just, nah, let me go and spend this $20. Like I literally be over here like, nah, whether I got the $40 or not, I'm going to pay it because this is the next direct thing where people can access what I've done outside of social media, where people can actually see the body of work, where people can see where we've been posted. But it's just an amazing thing to have, y'all. So, y'all know how I feel about the websites. Period. Thank you, honey. I'm gonna take it. She was a friend of mine. Somebody said I was like Kelly Price. When Kelly lost weight, right? Because girl, I worked hard to get this double chin down. All right, y'all. So let me get into the questions real quick. Because I said I ain't gonna be on here all night. It's already been an hour. All right, so first question. This was Monique. Monique asked about deposits as far as the payment arrangement. What platforms do you use and why? So I hate open-ended questions, but I'm gonna try to answer this to the best of my ability, Monique. Um, I'm assuming when you say deposits, you're referencing maybe prom or bridal. As far as the platforms that I prefer to use, it's going to be Honeybook or it's going to be Square. What Honeybook or Square, you can put all of your um let's do Honeybook first because Square is way different. Square is actually POS system, and I've actually been converting a lot of my people to Square now because I'm kind of like, well, since I got a brick and mortar, I actually kind of want to run it differently, kind of have like in-store sales and stuff. So I'll come at that. But Honeybook, you can upload your contracts. It's pretty much a client relations management system. That's what Honeybook and Square is. So it's a platform where people like us, small businesses specifically for Honeybook and Square, can pretty much connect with our clients, have a more professional looking website, layout, all of that. Personally, um, when you are going onto any platform like Honeybook or Square, you'll be able to send an invoice. Most invoices, they will allow you to be able to put a payment arrangement on whatever it is that you're asking. So you could say, I want my initial deposit to be 1,000, but they still have $2,000 left over. You can break that up into one payment, do whatever that week is later, or you can break it up into however many you need. So I think for me, if you're just interested in doing like payment arrangements and stuff so that you can actually take clients now who are not ready to book. You just need to make sure you are on a platform that aligns with that. Now, the reason why I don't do shop. I mean, I don't do like the dresses, the deposits, and invoice whole thing on my website because we don't do dresses on my website, right? The most I'll take from my website is just like a prom booking, something like that. And the reason why is because I am not doing. I don't have any samples listed on there yet, if that makes sense. So I will only use my website if I want to do Afterpay or something like that. So again, I feel like you just got to figure out in what way you want to do like your setup, like what's gonna work for you. If it's just your standard prom situation, yeah, you can get on PayPal. You can pretty much get on anything. I don't use PayPal. I don't fight with them. I actually try, and I also try to use platforms where you can get capital loans. So I actually like to use platforms where they'll just use the money that I'm making from my business and give my actual business a leg up. So the platforms I suggested are all platforms that you can get capital loans from. Y'all heard me say it, even PayPal. I've had one for PayPal, Square, Shopify, and Honeybook. Okay, so that's another reason too why I say you need to have a website. So when y'all saying like, how are you able to get like a loan, or how are you able? Because I'm literally making people go through the proper channels to show them that my business is making money. When you are choosing not to have a website or whatever, and you're choosing to just do like personal payments and stuff, you are literally saying your business ain't making money. And I learned a long time ago that shit don't align. It does not align with what I want for my business. It does not align for what I like, where I want to go, if that makes sense. So for me, it did not benefit me at all having all of my like money zailed to me or to my personal. No, we're not doing none of that. I am different. Y'all can fight me if y'all want to. Get your business account. Okay? Get y'all a business account, file your taxes, do the right shit. I don't care about what nobody say. I don't care about, at the end of the day, the IRS is gonna come from your ass, and there is no way in the world you gonna tell me that you think that the world is just supposed to give you hundreds of thousands of dollars and you pay absolutely nothing back. Fight me. It is what it is. And then you turn around and go in the group and be like, how do I get a loan? How do I, what you call it? You need a business account. You need business taxes. You need to show them income going to one account. Or do you get what I'm saying? But it can't be a frizzle of, I got 17 different things. Y'all talking to somebody, y'all hearing it from somebody who has had to learn the hard way. I tried to do oh no, because I learned from the groups. You just had them Zelle you and Cash App you. And it don't matter because when you really need a loan for something real in your business, you can't get shit. That's what they don't tell you. And you got to learn the hard way that you done sat here and had all these people send you money to the improper channels. And in moments like December, when your business ain't making no damn money, guess who can't get no loan? Been there, done that, wrote the goddamn book. It sucks. It sucks ass. So I'm telling you, all the stuff that people don't want to do, I'm looking for the adversaries for 2024. I'm looking for the people that's like, bitch, I don't give a fuck that you don't got a website. I got one. I'm looking for adversaries. Okay? I'm looking for people who literally is, I don't care that you ain't do a sale, bitch. I'ma do a sale. I want people who gonna do the opposite because opposite wins. 2% gets the goal. When you're doing what everybody else is doing, you get the same results as everybody else. So you have to make a decision in the beginning to do something different. Not when shit hit the fan, not when it get tough, not when you ain't making no money. And that's literally what happens with a lot of entrepreneurs. We are making decisions when things are getting tough and when things are hitting the fan. We're not being proactive and saying, hey, I know December's coming up. What's the holiday sale for December? Because you're not thinking about yourself. I mean, your clients, you're thinking about yourself. Because when you up, you up. So I don't need no sale right now because I'm up. I don't design like that no more. You cannot possibly say you want what CEO is getting and you think like that about your customers. We are not the same. You understand? So every single decision that I make, even the $40 that I do or don't want to pay every single month, it's above me. It has nothing to do with me. I serve an audience now. And you have to process it like that. They are important. They're the people who are going to pay your bills, and they're the people that are going to make sure that you eat when nobody else gives a damn. Okay, so just catch what I'm putting down. All right. You said I definitely was square and use loan options. Baby, listen, them loan options, they come in to wanna talk to them. Y'all, listen, Honeybook gave me a $10,000 loan. Baby, let me tell you something. I run everything through that motherfucker if I got to. And I literally just remember going through those processes of seeing people getting legs up. I call these just legs up, right? You have to pay them back and all that. But guess what? Sometimes your business might not be doing good in a certain period. But because you did good from January, excuse me, y'all. But because you did good from January to June, you end up qualifying for a loan. They give you the qualification in November. Do you understand what I'm saying? This has happened like this for me. Exactly when it got slow, y'all. Open up my email and Honeybook was like, baby, I see you. You are not alone. So yes, absolutely. I go through moments where I just like, damn, I just need somebody to cash out me or whatever. But I always think about the long-term goals that I have. And this year I was serious. Baby, I had nobody but probably one or two people. I had one person tell me for prom, and this was somebody that popped up on me, and so it was like a quick money move. I had all the fabric, so it was literally like I felt like a real good leg up. So I remember selling that. And she paid in full. So I remember her doing that. I had two people, it was just like a pay in full type thing, maybe. But during prom season this year specifically, I was adamant about don't cash app or Zelle me. Go through your invoice because I need this money. I need these long term goals. I need these processes that I know. And this is also if you get on your Honeybook, your Square, you checking your emails, they tell you guys the opportunities that they have. Are you signing up? Are you joining? These things are important. Like when I'm screenshotting and I'm saying like, hey, because y'all know, Cash App, no, Honeybook. Baby, Honeybook's reporting January 21st, 2024, 31st, sorry. January 31st, 2024, Honeybook will be reporting to the IRS. Okay? Do y'all not think that this is not going to be happening with everybody else? Cash App, is Cash App reporting to the IRS? Cash App is already reported to the IRS. So what I'm telling y'all is that these people getting smart. Unless getting paid under the table like cash, which I accept cash too now. I would love cash, right? But with that happening, okay, people are getting smart. They're being more aware, and the IRS is not playing. So you think that you are hiding your money and you're moving it around spiffy and no, baby, it's a different time now. And I'm just being smart enough to read the emails. I don't need Honeybook to report for me what I made in 2023. I'm going to report it myself, but I am glad that they gave me the update because I know that it's real. And that's all I'm going to say. So any of you who running these businesses now and do what you want to do, y'all can take what you need to the rest on the floor. Y'all know how I feel about that. But hear me loud and clear. Do shit the right way. Because I do believe that in the near future, it is going to backfire on a lot of people. A lot of people. Very scary. Nobody wants to hear that. I know. I don't even want to think about it, honestly, because y'all, I got all kind of stuff going on in my business. But I'm also reading these emails and I'm consulting with folks and I'm saying, I this what I need to do. This what we tracking for. This how much money we made. What does that look like? What am I up against? How is this gonna benefit us for the I need to know. And you don't want to wait until shit hits the fan to figure things out. So being proactive is going to be a very, 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 very serious, that's a word, transformation and proactiveness for 2024. Um, oh, really? Period. All right, so let's get to the next question, y'all. Is on it now?
Yeah, streaming that. That's what I'm looking at.
Oh.
So they can go to YouTube if you want to.
Hey, y'all, my boyfriend just put me on YouTube. Listen, my accountability lives are gonna be coming to YouTube, you guys. So I just need you guys to understand it. Like, period. I just need y'all to understand. I'm very excited about it because I'm like, listen, it's getting real out here, and I'm not trying to get caught up, and I'm trying to grow, and I'm really trying to charge what I'm trying to charge for these dresses. But I have already processed that you just can't be out here just being like, oh, you gonna pay me $10,000 for the dress, and I ain't gonna pay the IRS nothing. That thought process for me is gone. I literally now be thinking about everything, and I'm like, Shantae, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. You better figure it out. You better talk to your accountant, your CPA, whatever you need to do. Figure it out because this can backfire on you in the end. And you've had too many moments where you needed to do something or whatever. And I'm talking about it was a hiccup, dead in the dough. And all I needed was somebody to be like, sis, I could have told you not to do that. But I had to learn the hard way. So literally saying to y'all, don't learn from me. Dog, like go through. If you're gonna do prom, whatever, and you need a loan or something, and you ain't got good credit, and you're not trying to use your credit or whatever, this is another reason why you should be using these channels as well, because it's a great way to show people my business is making money, and no, you don't have to access my credit to figure it out. You literally are just giving me a loan based off my numbers. Always counts when it needs to. Uh-oh. Oops, sorry, y'all. It's dark outside anyways. All right, so I'm sorry. Um, okay, back to the questions. Back to the questions. Tawana, I miss you, friend. I gotta call y'all. Tawana is my boo, man. I miss her. She was one of the people I talk to every day. Now she done had the baby, and my sis is healing. But baby, when I tell you, I be so bored. Girl, but guess what? I'm knocking these dresses down. You're gonna be very proud of me because I'm literally saying, well, sis, while everybody is busy, you need to be doing everything that you said you was gonna do before 2024. So this is a great time. All right. What's up, man?
You tell for the three people that's watching on YouTube that they want to join your Facebook group and vice versa.
I got you. All right, so oh, okay. So Zadi. Now this is an easy one. Someone said, I think it's Zadie or Zadi, how to calculate how much fabric is needed for an outfit. This one is, I won't say super easy, but I'm just gonna tell you what I do. I don't make it complicated at all. In my mind, when I go into the fabric store, right? I know that a yard is 36 inches, right? I also think about the length of my client and the width. When you are doing smaller sizes, you are always going to use less fabric. When you are doing larger sizes, you're going to use more fabric. So, based off that yard of fabric, which is going to be 36 inches, most fabric widths, right? This is that the things you need to know, right? Remembering at all times just to keep in mind that way you're not walking around a fabric store asking somebody, you know how long this is? You know approximately no. So it's 45 54, and 60. Those are the most common widths. Okay? Widths. A yard is 36. So we're going to keep that 36 right there, right? 36, that's just a yard. Widths, how much is in it? Oh, and most of them come folded twice. You understand? So just keep in mind now that you're getting double. If it's bigger, you need larger. So based off the length of whatever somebody is and the width, that is literally how I gauge how much I need. So if they are, let's say, 60 or 60 inches long, I know that I'm going to need approximately 2 yards to do the dress. I know that a yard and a half is probably going to be under, but 2 yards is 72 inches. So based off the length, that's how I calculate my yardage for everybody. Now, I also break down all of my girls or clients or whatever into sessions, right? So let me tell you how I really process. A yard for the top, because I know that it's folded on two. I know even if I double it and I line it, I still can cut out, especially if it's corset, it might got a yoke or whatever. So you got to also keep in mind what you're constantly making. The amount of flare, that's also something that I keep in mind. So the amount of flare, this is where your width is going to come in and all of that. This is also going to determine if you're going to need more or you're going to need less. Do you get what I'm saying? So you got to be comfortable and just always know what it is that you're making. For average 54 hip for me at a 5'8" girl, that is a 4 yards of beaded fabric. Okay? That's 4 yards. Her top, depending on how wide she is and what the cut is, I might be able to do the whole dress in that 4 yard. But guess what I'm cutting first? I'm cutting my skirt first. I'm cutting the biggest piece first so that I can use the little sample scraps and everything that's on the side. I'm using that last, and I'll use that to cut out. But on average, for a plus size client, it takes us 5 yards to do a bespoke gown. And that's with a mermaid flare and a corset or structured type top. So that's just kind of on average. But like I said, if the yardage is wider, then you can use less in that 60-inch span. But if it's like 45, okay, you got 45-inch width, like that African print, and you trying to do a prom dress. Oh, baby, you need to go ahead and buy a clean 6, 8, maybe 12 if you're self-lining, because it's not wide enough. So that means you actually have to use the width and then fold over to cut. So I know that was a whole lot. Hope it helped you out a little bit, but just keep in your mind that a yard is 36 inches. The width is either going to be 45, 54, 60 being the largest, okay? 60 being the largest, and they do have 180 for tulle, but that's another thing for another day. These are things that you have to remember, just so that when you are working on garments and you go into these stores, you're not buying more than what you need, or you don't buy less than what you need. So personal preference, different strokes for different folks. I will say, let me just tell y'all this. That 6 yard, 7 yard craziness, a lot of that shit came from them circle skirt cuts. Tawana, I actually need you to vouch for me on this one if you agree. But a lot of that 6 yard, 7 yard mess, that was literally all from circle skirt cuts at the knee, which a lot of clients, especially my client, I ain't done a circle skirt at the knee in a long time. I'm talking about not even this prom season. We are now even evolving into a space where clients do not want super big gowns anymore, which is a benefit for us as designers. So literally just think about it that way. People, you don't need all that. You can't walk. And quite frankly, nobody wants a knee line, a seam line at their knee in their beaded fabric or whatever, especially if it's not like a tulle bottom or something that is a distinct design difference. Okay. So just something that I want y'all to keep in mind, because yeah, it get a little tricky. It get a little tricky when the season come up. All right, so I talked about defining the target audience. I gave y'all a real good one on that one. Your audience is going to tell you exactly what they want. They're going to tell you exactly what it is they're looking for, and they're going to tell you exactly what it is that they need. The question is, are you looking? Are you looking? You will not know what that is if you are not targeting anything or anyone at all. So just keep that in mind when you say, well, I know that I want to serve, let's say prom clients right now, right? So something that I actually try to keep in mind too is every promotion is not for everybody. So with me, I actually just learned through discovery over the last couple months that I have a wide ass clientele range now. So when I first started, I felt like I said, I was serving kind of that 18 to 24 spectrum or whatever. Got off of that, right? And then it quickly became like that 25 to 45. But with me jumping onto the prom program or whatever, right? It has now garnered me the attention of the high school audience. So literally, when I was going through my subscriptions last night to see who subscribed to the website, y'all, I was so mind blown to see I had thousands of prom girls within the 18 to 24 range. Right. Super excited about it. It woke me up. It had me up to 4 because I'm like, okay, where I was just thinking like I'm just serving grown ass women, which I do. That is literally the message, right? My promotions now can serve other people within our target audience. So I said, don't just come up with a bridal promotion, give them a prom promotion too. Give them this, give them that. Do you get what I'm saying? So literally I started to just think about, okay, clients who are more mature or more settled, they may be more in their careers. They are probably going to be the people who are going to be ready to reserve for a custom, bespoke, or a bridal booking, right? Because they're either going to get married or they're going to an event or whatever, and they can afford to spend whatever it is that we're asking. But then there's that other realm of people where I'm like, okay, but there's probably more than likely going to be parents as well, parents that could buy for children or children, I mean not children, excuse me, young adults, teenagers that actually want to serve, I mean that want to go ahead and lock in their prom or whatever. And honestly, great decision. I'm so glad I did it. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm literally like, oh my gosh, now I don't feel one-sided in my promotion. Like I'm just not serving like I'm just serving one particular audience when I know the next season that we're going into is our biggest season. Yes, I absolutely serve grown women, but prom season is a very big part of the brand right now. So I'm literally in a space where it's like, okay, don't just think about what you want to do for holiday season. Think about where y'all are going next year. Think about what that's going to look like and everything. So I hope y'all can catch what I put down from that. Okay, target audience is a real big spectrum. I feel that you do have to do the groundwork, which is what's their age, where do they work? What do they like to shop? Where do they like to eat? Who do they hang out with? Where all of that. You do that on your own time. You have to do that to be able to get to the other side. But once you actually figure that out, the work of the audience comes from the journey. Actually trial and error. Saying, okay, I got 12 or I got 100 people that signed up on my email list. What can I do with them? How can I how can I engage them? How can I get more people to join them? So literally every single promotion that I'm doing, I have the audience in mind. Every single sale that we're doing, we have the audience in mind. Every single announcement that we're making, we have the audience in mind. In mind. And every single social media post that we make, whether it's a voiceover or whatever, we have the audience in mind now because it ain't about us no more. It's literally if you got an it girl, talk to the it girls, honey. You get what I'm saying? Like, who's your girl? You get what I'm saying? Like, y'all, do y'all know it's so much power? I be getting so excited because I didn't lose my train of thought, but that was like a happy jump, right? because I don't think that designers understand the power and like building camaraderie with your supporters and your audience. You know, having like a Christian Michelle army. You get what I'm saying? Or literally something of that sort. Y'all come up with a name for y'all girls. Baby, brand them. Okay? Y'all gotta start branding these girls. It is such a important thing, and I feel like with fashion, sometimes we just get so caught up in the hustle and bustle, and we just forgot like who the girl is that we speaking to, and we just always talk to her because at the end of the day, whether people are up, down, or whatever, they still got that I'm that in them somewhere. And on that down day, you could say something that could inspire them, that could make them feel like whatever. So you just don't know. So when it comes to target audience, I mean, they pretty much make the decisions for me now. But it takes a while to get to that space, and you just gotta work it to know. And you can't let one sale dictate whether or not something works. You just can't. You have to literally be willing to go full fledged, all in at all times. And honestly, who knows if something worked or not? Nobody don't know unless you tell them. So at the end of the day, act like it's working. And then sometimes it worked. Y'all know that scarcity tactic always work. Tell somebody limited spots or whatever, always get the bookings where they need to be. Trust me. All right, so Gigi said, I live in a small town. What are some ways I can source quality fabrics? What are things I should watch out for? I'm not sure about the small thing. As far as quality fabrics, if you live in a small town, you should be shopping online. It's just pretty much that simple. As far as sourcing quality fabrics, you should be sourcing from vendors on Alibaba, and then have your select stores that you get stuff from here on. I mean, in the states, honestly. As far as what is deemed quality or who is a quality vendor, you can absolutely go into groups and you can find plenty of vendors. What I'm finding is that the research is there. People are just not willing to do the work. Not you specifically, Gigi, but now we're talking to everybody, right? People are not willing to do the work. You have to communicate with these vendors. I can tell y'all how many people I done gave vendor information to, and they still write me and be like, "Hey, where you get your so and so from?" Ma'am, if you refuse to talk to the vendor, I don't know what to tell you, but I'm not fit to do it for you. So again, you have to get to a space in your journey where you just got to get sick and tired of people doing stuff for you, and you just say, you know what? I'm from Augusta. Augusta's a small town, right? I'm going to assume that they don't have any quality fabric stores there like Atlanta. I would be coming to Atlanta to shop all the time. Or do you have surrounding cities around? Do you get what I'm saying? Like surrounding cities. Again, people that you connect with. I have people in every single state where I could pretty much call and say, "Hey sis, I need some fabric from a fabric store up there. Could you get it and ship it?" So again, what are we doing to build connections with other designers? Because the big misconception in these groups is that we can ask for people to do for us, and we don't put anything out or give anything back. My me going live is my way of giving back. Okay, this is my way of giving back to the community. All right. You got to figure out what that's going to be for you. You cannot possibly just ask, and expect people to give. So, I actually got a list of some fabric stores that I can send you specifically, Gigi, just because this ain't no secret or nothing. But when it comes to some really quality fabric stores and stuff like that, girl, I'll give you some Alibaba vendors too. My whole point though is with the information that you get, it is what you do with it. And that is what I am seeing from a lot of people. I have even found half of my vendors from simply just going into, the groups, mine, being on Pinterest, getting on Alibaba, and just talking to these people, like talking to them on WhatsApp, actually saying, "Hey, can you send me your catalog on WhatsApp?" So, I'm saying all that to say, I'm not waiting for nobody to send me shit. That's the space I'm in. And I had to get to that space when I recognized that I wanted to be a bridal designer and I wanted to do prom dresses like everybody else. I recognized that this was a rat race that I was about to enter into, and that if I didn't want to do exactly what everybody else was doing, even though we understand there's nothing new under the sun, I'm going to have to go to different lengths to get some of the resources that I need. And so a lot of the times, y'all, I'm searching and I'm researching at night. And I'm talking about my saves is crazy because I'm always trying to figure out where do I find something. Oh, I love this fabric. Where do I don't want to wait for nobody to tell me, and I don't want to wait until somebody posts the link into the group and everybody buys the fabric. So I feel that as designers, we just got to have our own process with how we even search for things and find our resources. Because I'm telling y'all, absolutely use the resource of asking somebody else or whatever. But remember that with that will come a whole lot of other people buying the same shit you got. And then you got to work 10 times as hard to do what? Try to design differently, especially when you don't have a name for yourself. Notice when you are building your brand and you're getting that brand awareness out there or whatever, the working hard, the building the name for yourself and all of that, it's easier to do when you get latched on to something. But you got to put yourself in a position to be latched on to something. So it's just how I feel about that. As far as quality fabric, go. And I just don't, I'm in a space now where it's like I understand we all have to use the same fabrics and all that kind of stuff. But I really be intentionally like, I don't want to have to do it that way if I don't have to. So I put myself in a frenzy trying to do something differently than just accepting that what was given to me is all that's out there. That's how I end that. You say our fashion shows with all time and effort. Again, fashion shows, it depends on your brand goals and what it is that you want to do. I, Christian Michelle, wouldn't be able to tell you if a fashion show is good enough for you or not. What is your brand doing? Um, is the awareness, is the fashion, I mean, the awareness that comes from fashion shows what you need right now? And I'll give you an even better perspective because I actually gave this to somebody when someone was trying to figure out what they should be doing, right? And they asked me about fashion shows. And I said, well, I said, well, what is your business doing? Or what like have you made any sales? Right? No. So if you haven't made any sales, you don't have any customers, why are you not doing fashion shows? And I'm not saying that to be an asshole, right? It's just the reality that people are willing, designers that want to get their brands out there are willing to wait and ask instead of seeing. So I'm saying all that to say, if you are lacking brand awareness right now, you need to be doing fashion shows. Y'all don't think CEO done went through a whole little realm of doing fashion shows? I absolutely have. I promise y'all, I have. And even when I got into the space where I said, well, I'm going to dial back on fashion shows right now because they are not the best for me in this moment, that didn't mean that I wouldn't ever do a fashion show at all. It just was at the space of where we are and where the brand is focused right now. A fashion show is just not the best thing for us at the moment. So when people, designers specifically, not people, ask me this question now, right? I say, what does your brand need? People know CO. I can still do fashion shows, and I actually am planning one for myself, but we have awareness. And when we didn't have awareness, we were doing fashion shows. We were doing whatever was required to get our brands out there. So you got to see what's best for you, how you feel about it, if you think it is plausible, if you think it's worth it. Nobody can tell you, can't no other designer tell you. Period, point blank. Hear me loud and clear. No other designer can tell you if a fashion show is going to be worth it for you or not. They can only give you advice based off their experience of doing it. Now, that is the advice that I take from people about a show. Was this show worth doing? What was your experience? But it's not from anybody, because what I find is that you got to be careful asking people who ain't never done what you're trying to do if you should do something. Because we're in a space where people will easily tell you don't do something, and they're going to tell you they don't do something with their lack of knowledge, their lack of experience, their lack of judgment, their lack of willingness to try, their lack of motivation. And so that is literally why I started to preach now. Get out of these groups and get in your business, because you're letting the judgments of people who are not willing to try, who are not motivated, who are not determined, who do not know what it takes to actually run a business dictate your decision making and the things that you know you want for your brand. So if you know that you want to build a brand, right? And the only way for people to discover you is through your social media, why wouldn't you have a website? If you know you want to build your email list, why wouldn't you have a website? So what I'm saying is that you have to just get to a space by looking at your journey only at all times when it comes to your decision making. And at the space that I was in a couple years ago, I did every show I could because that was the space we was in. I wanted people to know about CO. It didn't matter if people did an event, if they did an expo, I was in there because I wanted brand awareness. I didn't give a damn about what everybody else was doing. I'm doing a fashion show. I understand it might not be working for you, but guess what? What I recognize, I even remember doing my first expo, making nothing that first year, turning it around, making a whole lot the next year. And so I could have let people's advice from them doing it deter me and let me not make the brand moves I need to make. But what I realized, and this is why I say we got to stop like moving like our brands are all moving at the same beat of the same drum. Designers, stop. Okay? Hear your girl loud and clear. Your brand is not moving at the beat of the same drum as nobody but you and the good Lord and the plans that you have set out and wrote on your paper, baby. That's it. So I'm not consulting with y'all about what I need to be doing for Christian Omi Shine. I'm just not. I'm gonna talk to my audience because they make the rules, okay? And they are who I'm talking to. But literally, when you're doing a fashion show, who are you designing for designers or are you designing for people in the audience? So these are all the things that I literally, hey Jessica, what to do, boo? These are all the things that I literally got. Like, I want y'all to keep in mind. You gotta catch it because I just want. At the end of the day, I bet y'all gonna be some better. Y'all gonna be some better decision makers, baby. That's what I do know. Okay, that's what I do know. All right, and then one more. She said, "Do they from this is from Gigi? Do fashion shows bring customers? Again, what are your goals? I don't know anybody that does a fashion show necessarily. So, or let me reframe this so this can be put out into the world the right way. What are your goals for the show? Is it to make sales or is it for brand awareness? If it is for brand awareness, then who is in the audience of that? I mean, if it is for brand awareness, then doing the show and promoting it, whatever, and kind of going along with whatever whoever's running it, doing whatever. That's one thing, right? But when you're doing a fashion show and your intent is to make sales, the sales of that fashion show and that comes from that fashion show is 100% determined by who's in your audience. So again, another designer should not be determining for you if you should do a fashion show or not. Who you invite to the show is going to determine if you're going to make sales from that show, or you got buyers on your front row. Wholesale buyers, buyers, literally your supporters, like who's in the audience that is prepared to actually buy what you're selling, right? Another thing, because the designers asked about fashion shows, and I remember when I did my did Full Figure Fashion Week. Oh my God, so excited! Still one of my best shows to date, baby. Okay, your girl, I felt like I was on one. Okay, really great collection, just the whole little nine, great experience. But I remember at that show saying, I need to have these pieces done and on my website before the show happens, right? Having the pieces done and on the website before the show happens. That's intent. Okay? Intent. Getting with the team. Actually having it aligned. Show goes on or whatever. I know. So by this time, people need to be able to purchase this collection tonight. So even when you're doing the shows, what's the intent? Because I'm seeing designers doing shows, but you sell. Are you just trying to sell your samples? And you selling your samples that you have not shot, and that is the only body of work you have. So I think for me, it goes to literally just being aligned. Why are you doing any of the things that you're doing for your brand? Whether it's a fashion show, an expo, a pop-up shop, because that was the next question. Pop-up shop. G asked about that one as well. Do you think pop-up shops are a great return on investment, ROI? Yes. Why? Because you got to do the work to make it a good return on your investment. It's just that simple. So what I mean is, if you think you're going to create 50, 100 gowns and make one post and think people are just going to show up, you have no brand awareness, no social media following, no website, no email list, nothing to literally communicate to your audience, right? What they're looking for. No, you're not gonna make no money at your pop-up shop. Nope, you won't. And that scares me because those same people will be the same people that go into this world, this design community, and tell people that pop-up shops are a waste of time. They are absolutely not. If I'm doing a pop-up shop, which I have several planned for this year, because we got to make the most out of this building. One, I'm pricing my gowns to sell. So again, what are you willing to give up? What are you willing to work with? Who are you willing to, that's what this is about. Another thing too, most of your sample gowns, especially if you're going about it strategically and smart, you should be making most of your gowns or samples from leftovers. You really shouldn't be going to buy nothing unless you did no prep work into like buying extra materials and stuff throughout the year. See, we bought extra materials all year. So I got so much sample sales stuff. It's just make the dresses now, right? So you either prepare for it early or you have to figure out what that's gonna look like for you when you actually start to make the sample gown. But as far as the pop-up shop goes, you one, not gonna do a pop-up shop with the intent not to make money. So I say that anybody that is gonna do a pop-up shop, you need to price your gowns with the intent to sell. So you need to have your highest price point and you need to have your lowest price point. And you need to process, or I would process, because that's what I'm doing for me. There are gonna be situations or scenarios that come up, and at the end of the day I get to make the final decision. Now remember, I said warm and fuzzy don't pay no bills, right? But at the point that you made 30 gowns or whatever, you mean to tell me you can't sell a couple of them gowns for $300, $400, $500 or whatever? So my whole point is intention. What's your intention? Because mine is, I know what they don't sell before prom season, they damn sure gonna sell during prom season because people are still last minute. I understand the characteristics, the shopping characteristics of the prom client, right? So you're doing that research and you're really actually just saying, like, I'm not just participating in this, like, I'm actually participating in this season because I want to win. In order to win, you have to understand the attitude of the customer, the attitude of, I mean, their shopping characteristics, why they're doing what they're doing or whatever. And so when you're saying, well, why am I doing this or whatever, your why is going to make sense when the season starts and everybody doing sample gowns. You got sample gowns already done. So literally it's about just being intentional. Being intentional at all times, not waiting until the last minute to let people know what you have coming up. And I'm talking about your audience, not other designers, your audience. Because remember, what we are doing in this community, this world, is for our audience. We're not making dresses just so they can be sitting in here on the mannequin. We're making these dresses for people to wear them, for people to model them, for people to tell people about us, for them to make them more aware of the brand. So y'all already know what it is. What you say, realistically, we're not spending exactly, and we ain't spending 35 to 45,000 on no material. So let's just be realistic when we are literally making some of these decisions, okay? So if you're doing a prom pop-up shop, you can absolutely afford to let some of this go. It is personal preference. Um, you would just have to determine what that is. You don't let your decisions be based off of another brand. You literally have to let your decisions be based off of how you feel. So guess what? When I do my first pop-up shop, and let's say, because I'm gonna prophesy this right now, I get a good, I don't know, I'm gonna say, let's say we get 100 people to show up, and out of that 100 people, 10 people only got $500. Who? Who not selling a dress for $500? I don't need to go to the group. I don't need to embarrass my customer and say something frivolous like, "Oh, can y'all believe 10 people came to the pop-up shop today with only $500?" I don't do that to my girls. I meet them where they are. And guess what? People remember that in the long run. Yep, I'm talking about some of y'all, probably calling some of y'all out. I don't like when y'all be talking about some of y'all clients. Y'all need to do better. Period. But guess what? Them saying 10 clients that you refuse to serve, they're gonna come into the house of CO honey, and I'm gonna sell them the same gal that you went into the groups and you talked about. So what I'm saying is I don't make my decisions based off y'all, and y'all got to stop making y'all decisions based off of everybody else. Okay? What I want to do at my pop-up shop is what I'm gonna do at my pop-up shop. If I'm gonna let a gown go for 200, I'm gonna let it go for 200. I won't embarrass my client. I'm gonna clock a coin, and then they're gonna come back when they get 25,000, and they're gonna spend it here. You know why? Because clients remember how you made them feel, and that's been incredible, incredible, incredible learning. In a positive learning moment for me this year. My customer service is just getting better because I'm just over here like, no, I really love my clients and I really understand, like, when you show them that you care about them. Listen, baby, I have clients that bring me food, all kind of stuff. It is just it's so nice, y'all. It's just so nice. People just coming by, bringing by cake from Thanksgiving just because they care about you, they see you, and they like how you see them. So again, all your decision making, pop up shop, all of that, it got to come from the client, baby. All right, so Aisha said, what advice do you have when grading a bodice pattern that's draped on a smaller size dress form for a larger size, and you don't have a dress form? Honestly, you just need the flat pattern made. I mean, there's no real advice except for get on YouTube, actually find the videos that support what you're looking for, or actual books. Now, my answer also too, because I went to school for fashion design, I actually learned how to flat pattern make. And then after school, right? when I actually started doing bridal, bespoke, that whole jam, I went to YouTube University and I took it a step further. So I think for me personally, one, you just need to understand the basic fundamentals of pattern making, because me literally just telling you how to do it, because I literally, like, when I read this question, I was thinking about the answer, right? And I was like, oh, you just do this, 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 and that. But I'm like, but if they don't know the fundamentals of pattern making, it's just a whole bunch of numbers. Literally just like corset making. I just found out how easy it was to drape a corset, y'all. I'm talking about from scratch. Like, to the point where I'm literally over here like, oh, y'all got me so messed up. Iris, I am no longer, no longer buying corset patterns from anybody. Okay? Baby, you learn how to flat pattern make on the table, it hits different. But as it relates to braiding smaller sizes to larger sizes, this is what I would do, right? Let's say I was a novice and I didn't know much. There's still some basic fundamentals you got to know. So for me, everything is a four. Divided. The body, right? Your whole body is divided into four for pattern making. That's how we make our patterns, and that's how we also cut them. So let's say if I was doing somebody that was a size 2 and I needed to grade them up to a size 8, I'm going to use a bust and a waist. A waist measurement just to make it make sense. Let's say I was going from a 24 and I needed to go to 30. So that's 6-inch difference, right? 30 divided by 4 is whatever it's going to be, 9, 8, whatever, 8.75, 9 point something or whatever. My whole point is every single measurement, shoulder line, bust line, under bust line, waistline, hip line, so forth, divided into 4. Halves or fourths. Because when you cut, you're cutting 1, that's going to equal a whole. So for me, if I'm dividing that 30 by 4, that's literally what my measurement is going to be extended out to as far as on the flat pattern. Again, I actually just filmed super I filmed my first. This is the second one too. This is a follow up, okay? Because I'm actually on YouTube. So first of all, shout out to my YouTube community. Thank you guys so much for tapping in with me. I'm also on my group live. So if you want to join my Facebook group, it's Indie Fashion Creators with Ashante on Facebook. Make sure you go check me out. But damn, I forgot what I was saying because I needed to get that in there. What I was saying, babe? What I was saying? You didn't listen to me. My boyfriend is the engineer, you guys. Super excited because he's doing a wonderful job. Oh, I know. I actually, well, you told me that I need to.
I'm actually replying to him over here.
Oh my gosh, thank you. But anyway, so yeah, when it comes to grading, we were talking about pattern grading, pattern making. I'm sorry. When it comes to pattern making, first of all, I just recorded a detailed tutorial because y'all know I did pattern drafting for beginners, Aisha. But that's the thing though. I actually have a pattern drafting for beginners on my YouTube, yo, and I swear to God, girl, I think that's like the easiest video where I can really just explain how to grade up and how to grade down. And for 2 going to a plus size where your seam allowance would be 1/4 for that 2 through 6 range or whatever, I actually just do a 1/2 inch seam allowance for me specifically. And I actually know a lot of people who are working with the smaller sizes, they don't use a 1/2 inch seam allowance because they don't necessarily have to. They just use a 4. But for me, working with bigger sizes, grading up, needing to grade up to a larger size, I use a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So definitely make sure you check out that video. Literally it's a basic pattern bodice, but it kind of really applies for a lot of things. Now there's a more advanced type of grading that happens, right? And that's when you get into the corsetry and all of that, and that's like the bust measurements, all that, like all of that. But again, that is not something you're gonna get on a live, sis. I will actually send you something personally. Hey Jasmine, what it do, boo? I'm going to send you something personally just that I feel may be able to help you out just because I feel like you're a lot more advanced than you're more advanced is. So I even feel like this question for you, you just need to be put in a space. That's what you need. You don't even need like even what I gave you. I don't even feel like you necessarily need that. I feel like you just need the space because even for me, when I figured out how to make my own corset at the bust, waist, and hip measurements that I needed for my clients, oh y'all don't understand. Baby, they can't tell me nothing. It's hitting different now. I'm just over here like I'm looking at every pattern sideways now because I'm just like, oh, but I can just do what I need to and it's easy. And then what I'm recognizing is what I'm doing for these patterns, they apply in other patterns when it comes to pattern making. So definitely get you a good book. I have a few pattern making books. I can drop them in a group for you guys. I have several. Pattern Magic, those are the more advanced ones that I've shared. Pattern Magic 1 and 2, those can be purchased off of Amazon. Those are more structured and couture pattern making techniques. But again, if you don't know the basics, you're going to struggle. And I do think that when it comes to pattern making, you have to know what, some of your measurements. You just have to have those certain things in your brain imprinted, and you just got to know because if you don't, it's going to confuse you. So grading up or down is actually way easier than it appears. I do think that it's just a matter of if you're using stretch fabric or not. And so, like I said, it's such an open-ended question because for me, there's so many layers and variables that go into that. So I'll just leave that there. Can I talk more about the behind the scenes process of producing your garments for small teams behind? Yeah, so I actually spoke about this before. So when it comes to producing garments with a small team or hiring subcontractors, you can choose to do it two ways. Hiring subcontractors, right? Freelancers. These are going to be people who are not directly on your payroll, all right? These may be people who come in, let's say they might come in every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. That's it. And they always doing your tool bottoms or they do a certain job or whatever it is that you want them to do, right? But they're not on your payroll attached to the bottom line, right? They in and out. So you have some months where you might be using them a whole lot. You're calling them to come in a lot, i.e., prom season, or things like that. And then slower seasons like November, December, you don't need the subcontractors. You don't have a lot of bookings or whatever. So for me, I think, or not for me, but I think for designers, especially designers that are starting out, right? Again, everything is about where you are. For the average designer that is building their brand from the ground up, that is not a super big brand. I'm not a super brand at a big brand at all yet, aspiring to be, right? Growing. So I choose the subcontractor route mostly. Okay. I do hiring seamstresses only during prom season. And that's because I know that I can physically keep them on payroll during the whole season. I mean, like, not you just coming in, you do this bottom, you leave. That was your thing for the day. For every single body or every person, it's going to be a little different. You have to literally align your goals just honestly for where you are. Um, so when it comes to producer garments, hiring a team and versus having subcontractors or freelancers, people that come in to help. When you're first building your brand, you're going to have more subcontractors at first. So anybody that's just going through the pressure of should I hire seamsters and all that kind of stuff, girl, if you can't afford to hire seamsters, no, you don't need nobody to tell you that. It is simple. Look at your books, look at your money. Does your money say you can hire seamsters? If it don't, you can't. But what you can do is prepare. Start to align yourself for what that's going to look like, right? So what I mean by that is um, start with subcontractors. Start to get an idea for what it feels like to actually have to commit your money to somebody besides yourself. This is the best way I love to put it because I think that designers, smaller designers, don't think that they need them. Don't feel the seamstresses are important. Don't feel that they can really hire them because they're not exactly a big brand, and it's not really the case. Um, you can do whatever you want to do. It's just about if what you have going on is a needed thing for where you are right now. Just period, point blank. So again, if you are in a space where you can afford to hire a part-time seamstress or someone to come in for to help you do a certain job within the job description a week, absolutely do it. It makes all the sense in the world. How to actually do it, I told everybody. I went on Indeed. You can put some on Craigslist. I would say that where you choose to scout your employees is going to determine what you're going to get back. You put it on Craigslist, you're going to probably get a Joe you're going to get a whole lot of things. You get what I'm saying? You put something on Indeed in a space that is for that, where people are prepared, where people are seeking jobs, you get a better selection pool. So again, it's just personal preference, what you want to do, if you feel like it's even worth it, honestly. So, and nobody can tell you that your brand and your money is the only thing that can, because I know for me, when I first started, I was trying to run my business how a lot of other brands were running their business. I wasn't in alignment with it. I wasn't making the money. I didn't have the brand awareness. I didn't have the following or anything. It was literally about to kill me before I started, and that's what I'm seeing. So that it's like the fastest dream killer you can have for yourself, honestly. Want to kill your dream fast? Try to do what another brand is doing, and you ain't in the space for it. It's just that simple. But you got to be willing to take the risk, because you already know no risk, no reward. That's just where I'm at with it. So if it is worth it for you, I do feel like I got a lot of my time back. Um, I was able to create more. And so you got to think about hiring like this. And this is why I'm like, yeah, baby, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to bring some new people up in here. You get what I'm saying? But think about it like this, right? When you will have people in the building helping you, you get your time back. You essentially buy back your time. Because if not, the average designer right now, especially if they don't have a team, is selling their own stuff. So you buy back your time. As soon as you start buying back your time, you buy back your mental, your ability to create. I cannot tell y'all the amount of stuff that I was willing and able to put out just because I had people in here sewing with me every single day. Even on the days where I know I need to say, it was like it's something that I'm talking about, baby. Listen, 2024. Oh yeah, it's serious. It's serious. I want my time back. I'm on break right now, or whatever you want to call it, but I'm like, I want my time back. That was literally what the whole year was about. Getting time back to produce more, producing more, allowed me or gave me the ability and a chance to be able to cater to my audience. Just that simple. So if it is, important for you, do it. If it's not, don't do it. Indeed, Craigslist, it's all the same place. Wherever you go to hire somebody, a subcontractor is still somebody looking for a job. It just may be on the freelance type of, you know, just think Fiverr, but for designers. That's not a bad app either. Fiverr for designers, y'all. Y'all heard it here first. Okay. Oh yeah, definitely. And Jasmine said interns too. Yes, I will say that. Please, y'all, don't underestimate a good intern. Don't underestimate a good intern. Okay? Do not. Interns are always eager to learn. They have the time, and they most likely, especially if you get them from a school, have the commitment. and it's a required commitment to do the job. So if you're not in a space where you can hire people, get an intern. But then the next question that come up, people be like, well, I just don't know if I'm good enough or if the brand is good or if we're baby, listen. If the brand ain't good enough for somebody to work for you for free, make it make sense. You gotta be willing to do something, to try something. And again, it just goes back to how you see yourself, how you see your brand. If you think it's important enough for somebody to intern for it, you'll get an intern. If you don't, that right there, doubt, baby, that doubt be something serious. Listen, that doubt will have you in a corner, chokehold, okay? How many people wrote something, started to write a post, and then stopped, and then never posted because of doubt? I know I have. Got to be willing to literally fight all of those things. I can tell y'all how many times I open something, close something, open something about to post it, close it. It ended up getting posted because y'all see it, but y'all don't know how many times I went through the day of opening and closing, opening, closing, opening, closing, opening, closing, before I just be like, you know what? Like I had a post I was supposed to post like last week, and I still ain't posted it yet. And I recognized that I was dealing with some doubt surrounding that thing. So I decided to work through the doubt. Well, what is it? What got you what got you hiccuping on this? So again, are you willing to work through your shit? What does that look like for you? Are you gonna wait for other people to tell you? Or are you gonna figure it out yourself? Somebody said, "What fabric is the best for a tulle lining?" Hmm? I mean, you can line your tulle with anything. It's a base. So I think how I'm processing the question is maybe what's a good base for tulle, whatever you want to put it on. But I preferably like something woven because if you use stretch and you try to put tulle on it, it be stretching out as you go. And so if you try to do like a ruffle bottom or something, it's gonna keep stretching, and you end up using more ruffles than you need to. Versus if you use the woven like a crepe or excuse me a satin, you could do it fast, less, pulling or whatever. So hopefully that answers the question. And it says, when creating samples, how do you know what bra cup size to use? I feel like every designer, if you're saying you're a brand, you should have a standard size chart. I can't tell you what your standard size chart is, but I can tell you that there are standard measurements that you can use to build your foundations off of. Also, too, yeah, your bra cup size, that's gonna be determined by the customer. But with it being a sample, I feel like you should just have a standard of what you kind of want your samples to be in. So for me, most of my samples are double D's, G's, and H cups. Especially for like my 20, like anything that I'm doing plus size, because that's the average cup size of the clients that I deal with. My audience told me that. So I mean, you can take my recommendation based off my audience, but if you don't serve the same clients, I can't tell you. Yours might be A, B, and C, and those might be the only bra cups you use, because I know specifically for anybody that is serving straight sizes to, 2 to 12, that whatever, baby, you shouldn't be going pretty much past the double D unless they have really huge butts. So even just making the standard, dress sizes with your standard, B cup, C cup, or whatever, you should be pretty good. So again, intent, if you're making samples, what are you making samples for? I know if I was doing prom samples, and again, if I'm doing plus size, because I actually am using my audience from experience, I'm doing mostly double D's, C's, maybe. If I was doing smaller sizes, I would probably be sticking strictly to A, B, and C because that's like not the average prom girl size, but from what I'm seeing, that's the average prom girl size, unless you serve a very special audience like I. So personal preference. Be thinking, who am I to say this? Um. Okay. All right. Oh. Okay. So I'm sorry. I gotta look. I'm sorry. YouTube. What it do, family? So I am literally looking at a few of my YouTube questions right quick if I have any, and then we're gonna get ready to wrap this up. But I definitely had to just go live for you guys because y'all already know what's up. Somebody said something about PP home.
That we was talking about earlier.
Oh,
Cash App reporting to the IRS now.
I know, man. That right there is crazy.
Yeah.
If you guys are enjoying the live, especially my Facebook group, make sure y'all leave a girl some comments. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already know I'm going to definitely be sharing this, so it'll be available for repost. But it's really about getting locked in for 2024, not waiting, for anyone to make the best decisions for your brand. A lot of decisions that you want to make, you're not going to know until you actually test the market out and you see what actually works. Will you ever know if you just wait and you don't do it? No. So literally, I'm telling you guys, you got to get intentional now. Trust me. The blues hits everybody January 1st. My birthday January 5th, and I'm turning 35. And so this is gonna be a very lit birthday for me this year because I'm making it one. Intent, right? But I also want January and just the whole year. I don't wanna go into January into February, especially in my group, and still be dealing with a lot of like, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna whatever? Of course, it just comes with the process. Use me to get you inspired. But my whole point is, right? Are you tired of not knowing? When are you going to do something different to get a different result, to figure something out, to literally get the answers that you are seeking? They done gave people Chat GPT, and that shit ain't did nothing but depress some of y'all designers more because you still don't know what to do. And you still have not sat down to figure out what do I want to do. Not what Shantae want me to do, not what Instagram told me to do, not what do I want to do? Because it starts with you first. Then your audience tells you everything else, in my opinion. But it had to start from you, the visionary, having a goal, having a dream, having an idea, right? But it has to convert to something else. And you only learn that from testing the market, in my opinion. So, are you willing to test the market? Are you willing to see what it is that your brand has to offer? And if the people that you targeting even want what you are selling? Because that's another thing. Some of y'all making stuff for people that just don't want it. They don't want it. They just don't. There's certain styles that I don't make because they don't resonate with my audience. That they're not that type of girl. And I see it work for other people. And I'm like, damn, they selling out on this one damn thing. They found the connection. Okay. Remember when I talked about the viral moments earlier? When you find a play that work and you run that bitch back, and then you run it back again, and then you run it back again. That is what 2024 for to be for me because I did a lot of that this year, And I'm like, I just want more. I want more running it back. You know what I'm saying? Running them viral on his back. I want to literally, once a gown do good, I'm trying to come out with 5 in a different color. I want to literally challenge myself to do more than what I expect everybody else should be doing for me because I'm a designer and I'm this great big creative. No, this season is about who's willing to put in the work to get a different result. Who's willing to go outside to do the extra, extra everything. Y'all, listen, waking up early as hell to create dresses is not fun for your girl. But guess what? Guess what? Guess who won't be creating samples when everybody else around there scrambling? I just rather go and do it now. While I got all this other hard stuff going on, I just might as well go ahead and do more hard stuff now. Stop being afraid to challenge yourselves. And I really need y'all to hear me. I speak like this to you because I am your accountability big sister / cousin or niece if you older than me. Right? But I hold myself accountable as well. I'm my biggest critic. Okay? I'm going to look at my mess ups. I'm going to look at what I can do better before anybody. I'm going to self assess. And a lot of designers right now are not self assessing because if you are self assessing, you don't need nobody to tell you what the hell you have not started doing yet for your brand. You actually just need to start doing it. And it literally is letting go of the fear, the doubt, and all those layers that we have going on that literally stops us and hinders us from moving forward, getting that shit out the way and literally just being like, you know what? I want something different in this season. This season got to hit different. I'm literally tired of going through the same. I'm tired of not having clients. I'm tired of people not. I just want engagement. Y'all, what did I tell you on the last live? I pray for engagement. I pray that God gives me the words that I need to actually be able to pour into my audience when they are engaging with me. I remember having days where I posted crickets. Nobody bit. They didn't say a thing. It was literally like, well, they didn't stop me from posting. It made me go harder. So literally, the rest of December, or not December, I'm sorry. I got my December sale going on and it's about to go into this December, so I'm mad. But for December, your challenge has to be to yourself to be challenged, but not uncomfortable. Because I told y'all I did uncomfortable all 2023, and so I'm praying to God for a different season, okay? Which is gonna be transformation for me, right? But you got to be willing to get uncomfortable, where it pushes your brand into a different level. What y'all saw going on with me this year was all uncomfortable. I didn't have a single moment where I wasn't clutching my pearls. Literally, it was a lie. So you got to understand, for every win you're seeing, I'm working twice as hard to try to keep up with myself. I'm challenging myself even more. I've never done samples or whatever like that. This is gonna be a great year. I mean, our first year with what we're doing branding wise. Do you get what I'm saying? But you think I want to play the same game everybody else playing? No. So I'm gonna just align myself and try to do something different. And I don't need nobody to tell me what's gonna sell. Do you think it's worth it? Oh, that's the one that be killing me. Y'all think it's worth making samples? Girl, I don't know what to tell you. That's your audience. Because we're not the ones buying from you. This is why you cannot ask designers, your direct competitors, what's going to work for you or not. And don't get me wrong. Don't misinterpret the cosign. Ask if you need a cosign, But some of the shit Y'all don't need to ask. Y'all just literally need to react. And so this live is about reacting. Everything you said you didn't want to do. So do you think it's too late for me to do a holiday sale? Nope. Still got the month of December. Got Christmas and New Year's coming up. 10-day Christmas countdown, baby. And I'm trying to figure out what can I do for my audience for that 10-day countdown. Because even though I do like bespoke and all that, I just think it's a unique way that I could talk to them or get them to kind of like engage with us more. So super, super excited about that because I'm just like, yeah. But again, it's intent. I don't need to go in the group and ask nobody because if I go in the group and ask anybody, of course, designers gonna be like, I ain't never did a 10 days of Christmas. Well, how do you do that, girl? You cannot come up with your ideas teaching people at the same time. And so understand me when I say some of the ideas that y'all have, y'all just need to really be consulting with somebody that you trust who can give you the right answers that you need, that you trust. Again, because it's different. This shit is different now. And everybody that you think ain't, man, please stop playing with me. All right? All right. Hey, Cheryl, what it do, boo? Listen. YouTube family up in here. Yeah, I'm so excited. Everybody know I'm really trying to like work on this YouTube thing, get this YouTube coin. But we got to be more active. And for me, it's literally being more intentional this year. So I'm like, shit. I've been sitting here preaching to my group for years. And do y'all know how much more popular I would be? How much more. Man, them cops be out there. Y'all know how much more brand awareness I could have for myself, even for the personal goals that I want for indie fashion creators, just everything that I'm doing. Like what I teach, what I talk is from the heart. But guess what? I even recognize that I was serving, right? In the wrong space. And what I mean by that is that you got to be willing to go to spaces where people are seeking what you actually want. So again, you can't post a sample sale idea in a group and expect to get the reaction that you want because we not your audience. Girl, we don't know. Because I'm not buying your sample. Hell, I'm making mine. So I say all that to say, don't be afraid. You know what I'm saying? To literally just get in front and let these folks know what it is. If it don't work, do it over again. I couldn't come in for on the life for some reason, but oh, thank you, Aisha. I definitely hope I am, just like pointing y'all in the right direction. Cause let me just tell y'all, it is real. It gets real even for the best of us. Every day I wake up and I go through a cycle. And let me tell y'all, my man wrote this down for me the other day because, and it's like when I go through all these emotional things, right? I feel like my boyfriend has a way like he's the calm and I'm the storm, if that makes sense. And so he said something to me along the lines of like every single morning your brain is like a computer and it has to reboot, and you literally go through these boot up of emotions. They kind of just trickle down, you know what I mean, or whatever. And it is like something so simple and so small, but it was something that I needed to mentally understand about myself emotionally. Because like some days I wake up, y'all, and I just feel like I can conquer the world. And some days I wake up and I just be in like pure goddamn shambles. And I'm talking about don't know why, just I mean life is just life, and I'm just stuck in the right now of it. And it's like I really wasn't really thinking about how every single morning when I wake up there is literally like it's like my mind does this like robotic like mental thing where I process my entire life. I ain't got time for that, okay? But it literally was that eye opener of okay, feelings aren't facts. Y'all already know how I feel about that. And you have to understand who you are, how you process, and what your brain actually goes through every day. And literally, that small little sentence of baby, you got to understand whatever, whatever, whatever. When I've been waking up now, especially the last 2 days, I have now just kind of been processing. You're going to naturally go through your emotions of, where am I right now? What do we got to do today? That whole nine. But it's up to you to be in control. And I feel like for me, it was more so about the awareness of what was happening and being in control. Because as an entrepreneur, y'all, it's hard as hell. It's hard as hell. Like some days I wake up and I feel like I'm just great. And the other days I wake up and I'm like, what the fuck? For real. Like, what's going on here? I don't feel as successful as I thought I was. God, help me. I go through that every day, but I choose to sit on the other side for real. And so I need y'all to know when I say you got to be your worst critic, but you also got to be your biggest supporter. And just as quick as I'm able to hold myself accountable in all of these situations, I'm even quicker to get myself out of these situations now. I am. I am definitely, okay with affirming myself. I'm okay with, looking in the mirror and for every negative, I got 3 positives to go with it. That is more of the control that we have to be able to take. That's the area that we have to be able to take control of in those moments of doubt. Because I'm telling y'all, when you're not making no bookings, like when shit gets slow, it will make you reevaluate your whole life. Why am I designing? What am I doing or whatever? But I guarantee you, there are so many designers and brands that I've seen, and even business owners where their starting point is crazy to how they're finished, like how they are not finished yet, to where they are right now. Excuse me. So literally, I look at everything and I'm just like, this just right now. Everything just like this shit's temporary. It's temporary. Even when it's the stickiest, ickiest, okay? Downright stickiest, ickiest of them all, y'all. I still like choose to sit in positivity. I still choose to affirm myself. I still choose. Notice I'm saying choose, right? Because in this life, oh, it's all about choices, baby. It's choices. You choose to be depressed. You choose to go after your dreams. You choose to live in fear. You choose to post to sell. You choose. So literally, I'm ending the live on that note. 2024 transformation, right? Make decisions. Are you going to be afraid or are you not? What does that look like for you? Have you assessed? Because I'm going to tell y'all how I really talk myself out of a lot of stuff when I'm scared. The fear of not doing something holds a way higher cast over me than I don't even know what I can really equate it to right now. Because I literally told my friend that the other day, I was like, just the idea of not doing something, that shit drives me more insane than actually just like taking a risk and falling off the cliff. I don't know. It's like, it's something about the risk for me. Like, if I'm not able to just see if the sale gonna work, that eats me up more than not posting the sale at all. I mean, not posting a sale at all. Like just the idea. That is literally what takes me out of the chokehold of everything that I'm doing. Cause I literally just be sitting there like, but you'll never know because you ain't never tried. And so every like promotion idea and thing that I've like been coming up with just to kind of lead in the year and start 2024, I deal with the emotion of it like not doing it and not working versus posting it and people not responding. It's just something about it. And so for me, I feel like at some point in your journey, you just got to get to that point where not doing something bothers you more than actually doing it. Like I can't explain it. And so it's like I would lose sleep because I didn't see how a sale was going to go versus actually posting a sale and just not getting a response. It just all goes back to intent for me. So 2024, I just want you guys to be super great. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, at some point, like uncomfortable was great. I've been preaching uncomfortable for forever, right? But at some point, uncomfortable has to turn into something else. It just does. It has to turn into something else. It has to turn into transformation. You cannot just spend your whole damn life being uncomfortable. At some point, you want to evolve. At some point, you want to grow. At some point, you want the business to make money. You want to be able to do something that you weren't able to do or afford yourself like before. And so in my head, I'm like, what's the point of all this? I didn't go through all these years of going through this for this shit not to work. So that's what I keep at the forefront of my brain every single day. This shit gotta work because I've committed my life to this, y'all. I quit my whole ass career job. It needs to work. It has to work. I don't got no other options. So yeah, ending on that note, if you guys absolutely love the accountability live, I need you guys to make sure this is for my YouTube family. YouTube family, if you guys love the Accountability Live, make sure you drop a comment down below. Share it, whole nine. I actually plan on bringing it to this platform because this is actually what it's for. So thank you guys so much for just tuning in and just chit chatting with your girl. I also got some new videos coming. New video had just dropped, hand beating, how to hand bead, sewing, for beginners. So make sure you guys check that out. To my sewing group, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like I said, 2024, it's above me, y'all. I'm on two platforms right now. And by January, I'm probably gonna be on four. And we're gonna be doing the whole like the same live. You know why? Because I gotta get me by any means necessary. We are not doing all of this for this not to work. I am not teaching y'all to just teach y'all. I actually want to learn. I want to make money from this, and I don't want my coachings to be in vain. So, thank you guys so much for tapping in. Like I said, if you guys want to accountability live for anything specific, this is the time to do it. I'm gonna be doing a lot of these for December because guess what? The first of the year is the season where people just don't be having their shit together and they get in their feelings, and you need people like me who say, guess what, sis? I go through the same shit you go through, but guess who ain't fit you ain't fit to see me sweat. I'm gonna post the sale anyway. I'm gonna post the reel anyway. I'm gonna do it anyways because guess what? Scare money don't make no money, no risk, no reward. So thank you guys again. It's been amazing. Bye. Period. Let's go. Thanks, babe. You were amazing tonight.